Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. He's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I'm Harrison Graham. Do want to kick things off with a little bit of news. Luka Doncic has won Player of the Week in the Western Conference after
Well-deserved.
4 really good games, Coop. Doing some quick math there. I guess it says it right there, averaged almost 40 points per game. He's obviously very productive in other areas as well. And obviously Kyrie Irving's been out for a few games here, and the Mavs were able to win some games. So
my favorite stat, shout out to Mavs PR for this, by the way, is he surpassed Dirk for most 35-point games in Mavericks history. This is Luka's 6th season. Dirk played 21 seasons for the Mavs.
That's actually pretty wild.
So that's the most insane stat to me. Luka obviously breaking records here and there. He's just been absolutely incredible this season, and for my money, is the MVP of the week so far.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. So congrats to Luka. Get the 77s flowing in the comments.
Please do.
And also, some interesting rumors out there. There's a report that the Mavericks have registered great interest in a big Isaiah Stewart, the center for the Pistons. And quick side note before we talk about Stewart, it is incredible, Coop, that the Detroit Pistons have lost 23 in a row.
You have to try to do it.
I care.
Really don't know how they're doing it. I mean, I don't care how bad
I don't care how bad you are. It's the NBA, the player load management. Like, you can't run into a win. And by the way, if you go look at the streak, only like a few of them are less than 10 points.
The closest game they had was against the Knicks, where I think they lost by 5 or 6. It's embarrassing what's going on. Monty Williams is also the highest paid coach in the NBA.
And to be fair, I like that hire, and it's been a debacle so far.
It's been horrible, man.
And look, they may look to shelve some pieces off, like Isaiah Stewart, who I believe signed an extension.
He did, yes.
Just like Josh Green did.
We're going to get to that later, so you kind of ruined that, but that's okay.
Hey, we're
No,
throwing this show together.
4-year extension this offseason, $60 million, so he's making about $15 million a year. And that does complicate a trade for him as well, because he has a poison pill in his contract where if you were to be traded this offseason, there would be just a certain amount of complications on the Pistons side of things as far as bringing back salary.
Yeah.
So Isaiah Stewart, 6'8", big man, 250 pounds, first round pick from Portland. He was actually traded to Portland to Houston, and then he was rerouted from Houston to Detroit for our close and personal friend Christian Wood. So he has spent his entire career in Detroit up to this point, but he's a solid big man. And when I saw that the Mavericks were among teams who had registered interest, the name intrigued me, so I figured let's dive deep.
Yeah, look, Isaiah Stewart's a talented player. He can really score the basketball. Now, I don't know if this is the ideal, backup for Dereck Lively. Maybe he's a guy that you start sometimes next to Dereck Lively and play Grant Williams at the 3. That could be a possibility. He's more offensive than defensive. We just showed you his frame, 6'8", 250. He's not protecting the rim. Sure, he can rebound a little bit. He definitely can score the basketball. He's improved as a three-point shooter, which I like, but he's not really giving you, this is not the same as if the Mavs were going to sign Andre Drummond or something like that.
No, completely different types of players, but where I think Stewart is, this is kind of my read on Stewart. He's better than Dwight Powell and Richaun Holmes, but I'm not sure he's a center at all to begin with.
Yeah, I think he can play some small ball 5. I do think it gives you some intrigue. The reason I'm open to it, Coop, is you do need some more minutes at the 4 as well, and he can play some 4. He's kind of a 4-5 tweener. He's not a great athlete to defend really good 4s in this league, but he's kind of too small to be like a true 5, so he's kind of a tweener in that regard. But the kid can score. He's young. He's energetic. He'd be arguably your best big man scorer on the team in terms of pure talent. I do think that. I'm definitely open to the idea. The contract, which we mentioned a little bit ago, we'll mention again here. I mean, is this worth it for a guy who may or may not start? Again, he might start versus some teams. If you're playing the Timberwolves, maybe he starts. You play him at the 4 and Lively at the 5, matchups like that. But it's an interesting one. And I definitely think if you were to trade for him, Coop, it would almost certainly include Josh Green. Both teams would kind of be like, hey, we're going to punt on the guy we just extended for another guy, and then we'll have some filler pieces in there as well.
Yeah, we'll get to our trade idea here in just a moment, but before we do that, I would love for you to tell the people about today's sponsor.
Yeah, listen, Factor, they're going to give you the E-Factor during the holiday season because it is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. And folks, during the holidays, you're busy. You're doing some last-minute Christmas shopping. You don't have time to go to the grocery store. You don't have time to spend hours preparing, shopping, and then cooking the meal itself. And don't get me started with the cleanup afterwards. Factor gets you nice, healthy, delicious meals delivered to your doorstep, prepared by awesome chefs from Factor. And guess what? It takes you 2 minutes or less to get their meals ready. Coop and I also really like the protein shakes you can get at Factor as well. FactorMeals.com/NBA-chat50. And what I really like about Factor is whatever you are looking for, they can provide. They have Protein Plus selections with meals of over 30 grams of protein. They have calorie-conscious options with servings of less than 550 calories per dish. Like, whatever you're feeling, Factor is going to provide it for you. You can choose custom meal delivery services. You can choose from chef recommended ones as well. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Factor. Get it going today. FactorMeals.com/NBA-chat50/NBA-chat50 for 50% off. That link is in the description and comments of this video. Okay, so pretty simple here, Coop. A little 1-for-1. Green for Stewart. I mean,
it works with Stewart's poison pill too, by the way. So because basically, and Josh Green also has a poison pill, so you can kind of cancel those out. Look, I'd consider it. Honestly, I would.
I'd probably do it. I mean, Josh Green, when he's healthy, I don't think he comes back to the starting lineup.
Is Stewart at 4 years and $60 million more valuable than Josh Green at 3 years and $42 million? That's kind of what you have to ask yourself.
Per year, it's like a $1.2 million difference. So, like, you're really saying, are you worth keeping him for an extra year?
Exactly.
And I probably would, honestly. I mean, Lively's going to be here for a while. You're going to need some big depth there, so Stewart can provide that. He can play two positions. So
I don't hate it, man.
I don't hate it.
I think it's something the Mavs should explore, and we'll talk about Lively in just a minute, but we all know the Mavs need help there in that big man spot.
And they got plenty. The reason I'm open to it, too, is you have a surplus at kind of the 2-3 spot. Like, you don't need Josh Green. I like Josh Green. Like, we've talked about him a lot on this show.
Mistake.
I just don't think paying him made sense. And, you know, I'm not saying this erases that because you're taking on a guy who doesn't have a great contract either. But you're at least doing it with a guy that fills minutes that you need more right now than Josh Green. So I'm definitely open to that idea. What is your level of interest in Isaiah Stewart? Scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being very. I'm probably at like a 7. But if it's a 1-for-1 swap with Green, you could probably get me to an 8 or 9 because I think he helps you more right now.
Yeah, I go a little less, probably a 6. But, I mean, I think that he can fill a role on this team for sure, especially given the current state of it. And I'd be interested in an Isaiah Stewart experiment.
It's hard to find a comp for him because he is a very unique player.
He's a unique guy for sure.
But he can score, which you can never have enough scoring. Stick with us. Subscribe to the channel as we have more Dallas Mavericks videos, news, rumors, updates. We're on the road to 26,000 subscribers. This team's red hot to start the year. Join the journey with us. Coop and I got you covered all season long and on into the off season. Now, speaking of the big spot, Dereck Lively, and I do wonder if the Mavs really struggle here without him. Could that increase trade rumors? After spraining his ankle in Portland, Lively's in a walking boot. Now, sometimes guys go in a boot and they miss, you know, it's just like it's like a stabilizer. Sure. They're day to day, but bigs tend to take longer, Coop, with these type of injuries. Yep. It would not shock me if he's out until after Christmas.
Can the Mavs just never play in Portland again? The first time they play in Portland, Kyrie gets hurt and is out for who knows how long. The second time they play in Portland, 8 days later, Dereck Lively gets injured. So your second and third most important players on this team are going to be out for an extended period. And I would be shocked if Lively played in any of these 5 games, including tonight at Denver against the Nuggets. It would just be remarkable if he was to play on Christmas night against Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, you almost add, like, with these, like, ankle sprains or, like, these, like, ligament deals, like, you almost add 20 to 25% of recovery time for most typical bigs. Now, there are exceptions. Dirk was one of them. Like, he played through ankle sprains all the time.
Dirk would play the next night.
Yeah, but, you know.
Not everyone's Dirk.
And, look, 19-year-old rookie, you don't want to, like, rush the kid back. So, look, Markieff Morris, Coop, he's actually played okay when he's had to play.
He was decent against Portland, and he kind of offers that small ball 5 that Isaiah Stewart would. I know
it's actually not a bad comp, by the way. Like, he's like a better Markieff Morris, Stewart is, and younger, obviously.
Yeah, I actually do like that now that I'm thinking about it. But I think for at least tonight and the next couple of games, you're going to see Markieff because you have Richaun Holmes and Dwight Powell who can put in shifts, but we all know what they are, and it's not much. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully Dereck Lively's back soon. You'll see some Markieff Morris. I wonder if you see some, and they've done this very few. I wonder if you see some ultra small ball 5 with Derrick Jones at the 5 as well.
Yeah, combination of him and Grant Williams, kind of that positionless basketball. So Jason Kidd, to his credit, I think he's managed injuries pretty well this year. He's found different combinations that's worked. Like, he's tried Richaun Holmes. He's tried Markieff Morris. So he's pushed every button he's got. So this will be a good test, especially if Kyrie is out for as long as Lively is. Like, if they're both out at the same time for a while here, this will be a good test of this team's depth and Jason Kidd's coaching ability.
If I'm Jason Kidd, Luka Doncic doesn't play tonight against the Nuggets. He was already sick. He missed shoot-around. No need to play him
tonight. Mail this one in
Take
tonight and try to regroup for the next one. I'm kind of with you there. Get well soon, Dereck. Spam 2 in the comments. D-Live's been awesome this year as a rookie. God, what a fluky deal. I mean, both those injuries, so fluky.
Crazy.
But,
he steps on a foot and he's out for a month. I mean, it's.
You think it's going to be that long?
I'm speculating. I really don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Probably 2 to 4 weeks. We'll see how it goes. So spam 2 in the comments. We appreciate it. We'll be back soon with more Mavericks videos.
See you guys.